hard like that. And welcome to the Savage Patriots. Everyone is just going to be Jay and I. Obviously, Marlon isn't here. It's a sad day in the conservative movement, and it's not going to be one of those episodes where we're taking jabs and making fun of anything. We're coming with some real dialogue today. And as everybody knows, Charlie Kirk was murdered in Utah at one of his rallies, and
He was
everyone
assassinated. He was assassinated.
assassinated. Yeah, everyone saw it live.
Yeah.
It was a live assassination for the whole world to see. His family saw it. His kid probably saw it, and it's just a sad day. Young guy, 31 years old, Turning Point, USA. I
Yep.
actually saw him live in Texas one time.
Hmm.
Very smart guy, and he's a guy who stood business. He stood on business on his beliefs,
Yep.
on his values, on his Christian values, on his conservatism. He called it like it is. He didn't
Hmm.
back down to anything. And the people that don't know Charlie Kirk, he used to do these college campus rallies. And
Yep.
he used to have dialogue with these college students. And some of his big talking points were like college is a scam.
Hmm.
He was anti-abortion. He was pro-gun rights. He was very pro-Trump. He was all about Donald Trump, and he backed Donald Trump. And he was a voice for the conservatives, movement. And we lost him to a lunatic, a left-wing psychopath
Yeah.
who was so afraid of words and hearing someone else's opinion that they
Right.
had to take this man's life. A guy who was like super nice, man. He didn't really talk down to nobody. He didn't really get into it with too many people. He wasn't a violent person,
Hmm.
very Christian, had a family, had a beautiful family.
Yeah.
And because the guys did not like what he stood for, this left-wing lunatic
Hmm.
took his life.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Charlie Kirk. Over the course of the last decade, I would say Charlie Kirk has been pretty influential within the conservative movement on bringing us back to recognize the Constitution, on the nature of the United States, if I can put it that way, on where we have been a country founded upon these core Christian beliefs of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness or property. And
Mhm.
Charlie was a very big proponent of pushing that forward, and he never really had this political bent. He leaned more conservative because he was a Christian, a staunch Christian, and a Christian that understood not only just politics and culture, but biblical theology and scriptural integrity. And for him to be on a campus, a college campus, where the idea for any sort of university setting is to spur dialogue. It's to listen to differing opinions and ideas, and then you coming to your own conclusion with it after you wrestle with it. That's the whole point of college. And for a college campus to host him, and yet in a college setting where an open dialogue is supposed to happen, somebody decides it was in their tactical best interest to end Charlie Kirk's life.
Before he even started, I think he was just getting started.
Oh, geez. Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Well, it's always clips. That's what we
yeah.
saw. So I don't know how far he was into this debate rally. It was a debate also
Hmm.
because all his rallies end up being a debate.
Yeah.
And he allows these young kids to come up there and speak their piece. Then
Right.
he counters it. This is what debate is.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are so out of their mind with their Trump derangement syndrome, their anti-conservative, complex. They're
Right.
anti-Christian. They're anti-American. They're Marxists running around that hates America.
Right.
Plain and simple. Because anybody that loves America will listen to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
We may not all debate them like me. I just don't debate them, but I listen to them, and I just don't agree. But I've never in my life said, you know what? I don't like this person, and I'm going to go take them out. We've never said that. We just don't go to the rallies.
Yeah.
We just don't go and hear them talk.
Right.
These left wing lunatics, these weirdos, these psychopaths come to these right leaning rallies. They disrupt, they burn, they try to tear it down, they try to silence it. Now they're out here assassinating people.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I can only speak for me. And I'm just going to say this early on. What happened to Charlie Kirk? And I'm going to be extreme about this. What happened to Charlie Kirk is entirely the fault of liberals.
Yep.
I don't care. No, trust me. I'm going to generalize the ever living daylights out of you people. It is Charlie's assassination. The blood is on your hands.
Yep. And it's liberal professors, liberal media, liberal politicians, left wing everything. This is your fault.
Yep.
Because you guys push this false narrative that everyone on the right's a Nazi. Right-wing Christians want to take away our rights. Right-wing, or fascist. You guys did this. You labeled Charlie Kirk, someone like Charlie Kirk, a fascist, a Nazi. And when you start putting those labels on people, things like this happen. They did it with Donald Trump at his assassination attempt. They labeled him as a Nazi, as a fascist, as this dictator. And what some weirdo, lunatic, left-wing nut job tried to do, they tried to take him out. So the same lunatic, left-wing nut job did it to freaking Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is some old boomer, nothing against boomers, the good ones out there, it's guys like this. He was at a college campus, decided he didn't want young people to receive dialogue from the other side because he's probably been indoctrinated his whole life. This is the face of a fascist right here.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's what a fascist looks like. But they call us fascists because we don't agree with them.
Right.
We're not trying to end their life. We just don't agree with your way. And you have to toe the line with these left-wing lunatics. It's either you toe the line or you're a fascist, and we're going to destroy your life. We're going to destroy your family. We're going to deplatform you. We're going to cancel you because you don't agree with us. The right doesn't do that. The right's like, believe what you want in your fantasy world. We're going to believe what we want. Then we'll figure out who's right at the end of the day. We're going to figure out what works. But people like this, these boomers like this, these left-wing Marxist hippie boomers that are still walking around us in society want to relive the 60s like we're in some revolution day. Because they realize that they failed the generations after them.
Agreed. Okay, and the fact that he's a white liberal who literally did this. No. White liberalism is the problem. Liberalism is the problem. I'm sorry, but there is no better ideology than conservatism at this point. I'm convinced because the left and the liberals have just proven themselves wrong by thinking that their policies, their ideas, their methods are progressive and they mean well for people. You've just proven yourselves wrong because it's your ideas and it's your principles and it's your ideology that assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Yep. And it's your ideology that causes murder of unborn children. It causes death in inner cities. It causes the assassination attempts of CEOs. It causes the assassination of the CEO, the murder of the CEO. It causes assassination attempt of Donald Trump. I mean, it causes so much violence. Leftists have killed so many politicians and public figures. Abe Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King,
Malcolm X.
I mean, you think about left wing, their mindset, it's violence. They're psychotic. and
I
it needs
agree.
to be studied. And this
I
is
agree.
why I always say I'm glad Donald Trump is opening up these insane asylums, because we really need to get these people in there and get their brains checked out, because something's not right.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Honestly, I'm to the point now where if these people are, I mean, because I think I said it in my TikTok, but these people are calling for war, and they're going to get what they ask for, and nobody is going to be sad if they find out, if they f around and they find out. Nobody's gonna be sad for them. I'm not. The less of them there are, in my opinion, my life will be better. I promise you.
All right, I'm getting this other video set up. I
Yeah,
don't want to show a certain part, so I'm just going to skip right to the part where this left wing lunatic, this big mama big bear, is in there pretty much praising that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. All right, that's the wrong one.
I'm not surprised that these monkeys are doing that.
They're lunatics, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, there's no way you can be right in the head. There's no way. You can't be. Uh, It's a serious mental disorder, and it needs to be checked.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so much sad. I mean, I'm saddened for his family because he left behind a wife and two beautiful kids, and for somebody to think that they're doing America good by shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck, and I think that somehow he accomplished his mission. Um, I don't know. To me, in my perspective, this guy started something that this guy opened up Pandora's box, and I
Yes.
don't think that the left wing will find any sort of victory or solace or rest from here on out. I think that people will knock out a Democrat on sight. Be like, hey, that's for Charlie. Yeah, that's for
Yeah,
former President Trump.
I agree. And the left has just sealed their fate when it comes to the midterm elections, because they're already trying to spin it.
Mhm.
They're trying to say, oh, it was one of his supporters that were firing celebratory fire and it hit him. They're already spinning it because they don't want to say that it was a left wing nut job psychopath, mental institution candidate
Mm-hmm.
that actually did this.
That's insane. Like, who's spinning this?
I saw this on MSNBC.
Oh, you got to pull that up. Oh, I want
Yeah,
to hear this. I want to
I,
hear this.
well, it was. Hold on, I'm gonna look for it. But this is what you sent me. What Andy No pulled up. Let me see. Is this the right one? I'm trying to freaking. It's hard working on two systems
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
All right, stop sharing. Let's do this.
Listen, I said it before, but I'll say it again. If you are on the right or you're conservative and you try and appease the rhetoric by saying, "Oh, it happens on both sides," I personally will deem you an enemy, and you and I will have no dealings whatsoever if you sit there and say we need to unify. If you're telling me to unify with that, you are straight up out of your mind.
I
Okay,
agree.
you want me to unify with that? That's where you want unity in, people on the right who want to be pacifistic about this? Really? Give me a break. Shut up. Stop talking.
Yeah, and you're right. Those extremists just need to be ignored or deplatformed. And I saw a friend of mine on Facebook. Everybody knows her on TikTok as I don't know if I want to say her name, so, but we've been following each other on social media for a long time, and she posted something today talking about anyone who posts extreme rhetoric, family or not, I'm reporting you. So these are the steps we have to take.
Yeah.
Before, us on the right, we're just kind of like, free speech. You have the right to say it. Free. We're always screaming free speech. Yeah, they can say it, but doesn't mean we don't report it.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'm
not
done with
just
that.
talking about reporting it on a social media app. Do that, and then you screenshot that and you send that over to the FBI. Be like, with the current climate we're living in right now, these people were saying this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. You saw what happened at these rallies. So I'm just letting you guys know, and you screenshot that, you send it to them, and you send them a link to the people that are talking about it.
Yeah.
Don't stand by and just watch this stuff. If you come across it, you don't want to interact with them. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
interact with them. Report their content.
I mean,
All this nice guy stuff,
yeah,
that's over.
I agree, and especially now that with the passing of Charlie Kirk, who was probably one of the more prominent conservative voices, for the left to pull this off, I'll go on and say it. I hope it happens to you.
Yeah, be careful, leftists, because don't expect grace when you guys don't give us grace. You
That
guys
part.
always want to extend the olive branch when it's on your side. Let's extend the olive branch now. Let's come together. But when it happens to us, you guys are praising and clapping
Yeah.
and having parties.
Yeah.
And in your little nerdy little Reddit things, you're talking crap about people and you're doing all this crazy stuff. Those days are going to end, man. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Because all it's going to be now is that people are going to go in and just start reporting it, screenshot it, report it to the FBI. That's all you do. Screenshot,
Yep.
report. FBI, hey, I ran across this. This looks kind of dangerous to me because that's extremist stuff. This is what they're trying to crack down on. So instead of us just sitting here idle, talking about it on TikTok, look what I came across, and not
Yeah.
doing anything about it, talk about it and report it. Say, hey, I reported this to the FBI. I reported this to the authorities. I don't care who it is.
Right.
If they're pushing extremist ideologies that can cause harm for someone to lose their life, you need to report it.
Mhm.
So this is Andy No, Jay.
Yep.
So this is some of the stuff. You can take this one, Jay. This
Yeah.
is yours.
So Andy No came across a bunch of reposts, and I don't know how Blue Sky operates, but this is on Blue Sky saying somebody saying, you know, I wish the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk was a very pleasant day, and people are celebrating and praising this particular post on Blue Sky. And Andy No was able to capture this. This is people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Again, if people are saying that this is happening on both sides, you guys are low IQ monkeys, because I don't know anybody. Well, now I hope it continues to happen on the right, where we say stuff like this and hits them equally hard. But for as far as I'm concerned, the record shows that nobody on the right is sitting here saying stuff like this. Nobody
No.
said it about George Floyd. Nobody said it about Michael Brown. Nobody said that about name some other whack job animals who died. I don't know. Nobody said this about anybody. Nobody is wishing death on Jasmine Crockett. Nobody's wishing death on Kamala Harris.
Nope. It's a mental disorder, man. And these people, these are the same people that they will say this is justified, them praising the death of Charlie Kirk because we don't say anything about school shootings. They're like, oh, they don't care about school shootings, so we don't care about this. How many times has someone on the right come out and said, hey, these school shootings are out of control, and here's what we need to do to try to stop these school shootings? So they'll make stuff up in their head to justify what they're doing.
I've heard more solutions for school shooting come out of the right than I have from the left.
Yep.
More probable solutions, more cost-effective solutions. I've heard more people offer solutions come out of the right than I have the left. And I'm going to pull an Umar. I'm going to say one more time. I've heard more solutions for school shooters coming out of the right than I have on the left.
And the left is, like I said, they're just freaking nut jobs. Like, we just have to treat them like window lickers at this point. Like, hey, give that kid a helmet and put him on the yellow bus, because interacting with these people isn't going to fix anything. And I'm not going to say, oh, some of these leftist creators, I've seen a couple come out and, you know, were upset that people were actually praising this. What's his name? What's his name?
Good Trouble?
Good Trouble came out and actually was like, you know, this is bad. He said, I don't care, you know, how you felt about somebody. No one should be losing their life. This dude was a father. He was a son. He had a daughter. He had a wife. And he's like, no one should be out here, you know, praising this and thinking that this is okay.
My hot take.
Yeah, nurses and muscles.
Muscles and nursing?
Yeah, muscles and nursing. He came out and said he's disgusted that this is even happening. And he's like, now that he sees the left after all the stuff he was talking, he's like, now I see that this party is the party of death, destruction, hate, murder, everything bad that they call the right is the left, and they're always projecting it. And he said, I'm changing to Republican now. He said, I
That's
can't do this
crazy.
anymore. Yeah, he came out and
Be-
said it.
because I remember during the COVID years, that bald-headed white liberal was so like pro-vaccine, and he was the one that actually doxed people who said they didn't get the vaccine. So that switch up is crazy. But then again, he's also Jewish, and he's pro-Israel,
Yeah,
and so the fact that he has to fight against the pro-Pally liberals, and I heard him do that switch. I'm like, that's an interesting switch up. Muscles and
yeah.
nursing. So
And
for
he
him,
switched it.
but as far as good trouble, I think that was just performative because I think he wants to remain balanced. But I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, I don't trust Good Trouble either. He's a little arrogant little man,
Mhm.
mustache man, you know. But you know, anybody with any type of common sense would come out and say, "Look, you left wing weirdos, we shouldn't be out here praising this stuff. This makes us look really, really bad, like really, really bad." Because come the midterms, and I'm not trying to transition over to elections, but come the midterms, people aren't going to forget what you guys said about Charlie Kirk. And believe it or not, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, but this almost made him a martyr
Yeah,
per se,
yeah.
because he was a very powerful voice in the conservative movement.
Hmm.
Believe it or not, he was changing people at these college campuses, and that scared the left.
Yeah.
He was going to these college campuses, and a lot of these people that were in the middle or these lefties, kind of leaning left, would listen to this guy. And they'd be like, "Wow,"
Hmm.
So it's just people are going to learn that this type of stuff is not going to be tolerated or accepted anymore.
Yeah.
So here's the MSNBC. I think it's MSNBC, isn't it?
You have a tweet from Cash Patel.
Oh shit. No, that's not it. Hold on. That's a tweet. Sorry. I'm trying to break it up. Hold on. Go ahead, Jay. You got the mic.
No, it's just it's. You can't convince me otherwise. Now, this cements my absolute 100% disdain for the left. If you want to create extremists, you just done did it right now, right?
I
Like,
agree.
I hear people, I heard somebody tell me that, being a conservative means you're relatively moderate. And yet, at the same time, it's like I understand that perspective, but then you see this happen with a guy who was, a decent conservative guy, and he didn't really have extreme views for the most part. But then he gets shot, and yet we're supposed to sit here and say that conservatism is not supposed to be extreme. But then you get extremists who kill off a conservative who
Yep.
wasn't far out crazy, but he understood what conservatism was, and he understood what his Christian principles were about. And you go up and you shoot him, and you think that's going to do nothing? Like Pandora's box has been opened, and I am under the firm belief through raucous celebratory moods that Democrats are going to find out.
Yeah, I believe it too. And, I think they kind of want this. I think they kind of want a civil war. I really do. And they cry about Trump being a dictator, and they were crying about him declaring martial law and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they really want martial law. I really think they want some type of civil war, like that video game Division, this apocalypse kind of lifestyle they want
Right.
to live. And, I think they really want that. But it's not going to work out in their favor, because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of sleeping giants living in society.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that there's a lot of people out there with some serious background, some serious training, that are just walking amongst you.
Yeah.
They're just blending into society. And if you really think you're going to run around here and terrorize people, it's not going to work in your favor. It won't.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some guys that are out there trained, and a lot of those guys, highly trained, are on the right. They're conservative leaning.
More than likely, especially military folk.
Yep.
They lean heavily on the right because, it's about the values that they want to protect.
Yep. So here's the headline from MSNBC.
Oh, I want to see this.
Yeah, it says MSNBC. Oh, there it is. MSNBC guest sickly speculates Charlie Kirk was shot by supporter firing a gun in celebration.
Uh,
I, I, I don't know what to say, man. It's like these people, whenever something is like has to do with the right, let's say the right, they speculate or they assume that someone on the right did it, it's immediately the right wing, blah, X, Y, and Z. But if it's something that's possibly the left, they always gotta, well, it's possibly or maybe speculation. It's not a
yeah,
trend. It was a white male, but they don't tell the whole story about
right,
it.
right.
They
I,
never will.
oh, ooh, that. Wha- I'm flabbergasted by that headline.
But understand, this is the same freaking lunatics that spread the propaganda that they spread, and the lunatics that commit acts like this watch
Hmm.
this propaganda. You know, so they're spreading propaganda. They're telling you a bold faced lie because the guy's
Right.
already been caught.
Yeah.
He was caught right after the shooting.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So they spread these lies, and these idiots, these left wing lunatic freaking scumbags, watch the mainstream media, and then they believe it. So now they're probably running around believing exactly what that headline said.
Yeah. I mean,
So, so the cycle's not going to end. For one, the mainstream media is the enemy of the state. No matter how people want to put it, no matter what people say, no matter how much the mainstream media wants to cry about it, they are the enemy of the state with all their propaganda and lies. And throughout history, when media started, who has always been an enemy of the state, pushing propaganda and lies?
media.
Mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing new. They just don't want to accept the fact that they are the enemy. They are the problem. All they had to do is come out and say, you know what? That shooting was messed up, and here's
Hmm.
the truth. They couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting to me that the media is making this wide reach speculation that it was a Trump supporter or a Kirk supporter who
Mm-hmm.
accidentally fired off a gun. But then at the same time, these same left wing media monkeys are also saying that, you shouldn't be about gun violence. Make that make sense.
They don't make sense, and people still watch them.
That's
You know what was that act that Smith Mundak?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Has that even been rescinded yet?
That's never been addressed. Even Trump hasn't
Yeah,
even
has it been
addressed it.
addressed?
No.
Yeah, so they need to address the Smith Mundak. Then you need to cut that off, pushing propaganda. Any mainstream media or any media outlet, podcast, it doesn't matter. If you're pushing propaganda, you will be shut down. And I think TikTok, man, honestly, I think TikTok's kind of going in that direction. They're trying to get rid of propaganda. You know what I mean? And they've said it, misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. I don't agree with some of their new community guidelines, but I do agree with we got to stop this propaganda. We got to stop pushing it because it's causing problems. It's causing things like this to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to nip it in the butt, man.
Hmm.
Either you're going to get on here and tell the truth, or you're going to get deplatformed.
Yeah.
Just get up there and tell the truth. And I think the same thing needs to happen to the mainstream media. Once the
I
three
agree.
strike rule. If you get up here and you lie and you know the truth, but you want
Mhm.
to spread propaganda because you don't want to get your base upset or you don't want to get your base to turn against you.
Yeah.
You need to be deplatformed.
I agree. Yeah. No, the Smith Mundt Act has not been addressed by Trump in both presidencies, and that's disappointing. Because especially when it comes to the whole Section 230 part as well,
Mhm.
um, because it's Section 230 that allows private platforms to be considered platforms like Twitter or Facebook or even TikTok,
Mhm.
where they're considered platforms, which means they're the ones that gets to regulate information because it's their private platform. But which means though that they toe the line. They actually something about how you either have to be a publisher, because if you're going to be publishing your own information, or if you're going to be editing, that's what makes you a publisher, not a platform. A platform should make you and I have the freedom to post what you want to post and say what you want to say, regardless of whether or not it's misinformation.
Yeah.
That's what a platform is. It's just simply allowing you to say what you want to say on the platform. Whether as a publisher, they're the ones that make the edits. And so when it came to like Facebook suppressing, doctors posting about COVID vaccines, YouTube, suppressing videos regarding COVID, and just anything else regarding those lines, they're not platforms anymore. They become publishers, and that's what Section 230 is kind of sort of trying. The Section 230 needs to be reformed in that way, as well as the Civil Rights Act. So,
yeah, I agree. I mean, and it starts there. And again,
I agree.
said it earlier, the mainstream media is the number one culprit of it. They pushed a lot of this rhetoric about Charlie Kirk. And if anybody's ever watched him or been to one of his rallies, you would understand that the guy's not an extremist. He's not up there saying, women should be in the kitchen. He just has Christian values. He believes in Christian values. And he stood on that. He stood on business and what he believed in. No different than a left-wing nut job psychopath stands on wanting to kill babies. It's no different. They stand on what they believe in. But again, we don't believe that they should be taken off the earth for their beliefs. They do enough killing for themselves.
That's true.
Let them continue to wipe themselves out. I mean, that's what they want. But these, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but at this point in time, like if you're going to sit there and preach, being celebratory about deleting your baby out of the womb, I kind of want to end your life. I'm not going to lie. Like, one less of you means you don't have a chance to murder a baby. But again, you don't want extremists, and yet you pull off some of the most extreme things, like assassinating a conservative pundit, and you think you're going to get scot-free as an ideology? No, this is going to come back to bite you, and I hope it comes back to bite you hard.
It's going to come back and bite a lot of people, because I don't think, they got the guy, we don't know all the details behind him, but I know Trump tweeted out, or was it on Truth, something about once they figure out this guy, they're going to ask for an immediate execution, death penalty.
I hope so.
Same thing goes with that guy that killed that young lady on the bus. He said the same thing. He's like, immediate. None of this sitting on death row for freaking 10 years. Public execution. I
think we need to bring that back.
Yeah. Marmar's back.
Marlon!
I'm black.
Yeah, go ahead. You can add too. Go ahead. We're just talking about public executions. Trump's wanting to bring that back.
I'm not against it. I just hope that they make sure they get the right person if they're going to do it. Once you do it that way, it's done, and you might get into more trouble if it's the wrong person. That's all. Just get the right person.
Yeah, and I'm down with it, because if you see someone murder someone or assassinate someone, and you have video footage of the guy doing it, in the action of doing it, and he pulls trigger, and you got him dead bang, what do we need? We just saw you do it.
Due process is what you need.
Due process. What's that? It's called. What's it called? Where you get immediate justice, like on the spot. Some countries do it.
Oh.
I forget the title of it. I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, it's like certain countries, they don't play around. They're like, "Oh, we just saw you murder that lady right there. Guess what? See you later." You know what I mean?
So what did you guys cover about Charlie so far?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
The left is entirely to blame. They've opened up Pandora's box, and I hope to God that the response that we give back to them is tenfold.
Now, do you think that we can afford to do that?
At this point, I don't care.
I mean, you know me and my stance on violence and stuff. I at the end of the day, I just want it all to end, man, and one way or the other. But I do want peace at the end of the day. But you can't have peace without violence, and no war is won with peace. A war always starts off very violent, and then it ends up being peace at the end. But I think this is what these people want. They want violence, man. And they're going to poke the bear enough. And the people on the right are fed up, I think. I think a lot of people on the right are really fed up with this sitting down idle, sitting on our hands, watching all this go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason I asked that is I have no doubt that the left is banking on us to react. Because remember, there was also a shooting in Colorado, too, in a school.
Yes.
Today, too.
Yep.
And I had an epiphany, a thought process that maybe, just maybe, we might be looking at an inside job on Charlie. That somebody knew, and they ordered to make sure that people on the right were for pro-gun, or the pro-gun people were against guns, in the life of one of the ones who was the most against that idea. Because what I keep seeing going around is this: he was so pro-gun, now a gun took him. I don't know that mindset, but you do it with kids is one thing, but you do it with what they consider the right's most boastful person, and the one that they just love. If you end him, then definitely they're going to want to do something with guns. And I think that's the same theory they had behind trying to end Trump with guns. Is that their mindset is if that they do that, they can get exactly what they want out of the right. The problem is that's not what they're going to get. Because we're not stupid to know enough to believe that a gun by itself is going to do something egregious. It's the people. And that's exactly what Charlie was pushing, was mental health checks. People need God, and people need the family. But when you remove the one thing that keeps people sane and you start messing with it, people start doing crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
White and black. Charlie didn't just call out black people. He called out the left. The left is mostly white, crazy people. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I agree.
So I think this is just me. We'll see what the investigation yields. But I'm going to go on the conspiracy bandwagon and say that it was an inside job.
You know, that's odd you said that, because I had another friend on TikTok say the same exact thing. She believes that it was an inside job, and it was done to, same thing you said, it was done to kind of stir the pot to get people fighting. They want a civil war. Somebody out there wants a civil war. Somebody does. And there's a lot of deep state operatives operating within the Trump cabinet still that they haven't weeded out. So I can see that.
But it would have to be an inside job from someone within Turning Point. Not necessarily.
Yes, there can be. Yes, I know.
Yeah. And there could be deep state operatives within Turning Point also. Pro-Israel, you know how, pro-Hamas. There's all types of people in there.
It is a crazy thing. The theory I have is not based on the idea that maybe people in Turning Point couldn't do it. That I don't believe that they're incapable of doing it. Because let's be careful, and not because, remember, they were friends with people like Milo at one point. Dave Rubin was part of too. Tim Pool had at least one interaction with them. So they've had people that they've fallen out of grace with before. Mm-hmm. They've been accused of being aren't they part of AIPAC, or they've been accused of taking money from AIPAC?
Yeah.
So there are tons of reasons why people would want to infiltrate Turning Point USA and remove the lead guy of Turning Point USA in order to try and turn things around.
In order to try to shut him down too.
Yeah.
He was a very powerful voice. And what was he pro-Israel?
Yes, he's pro.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you could, like I said, you could have had some people that weren't pro-Israel in there, and they hated the fact that the leader of their organization was pro-Israel.
I mean, I it's not true. I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just sickens me that his wife and kids had to watch him get taken out like that for the whole world to see. I had the video, but I didn't play the video of his assassination because we don't need, for me, I just don't want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because that is somebody's son, that is somebody's husband, somebody's father, and just looping it for, you know what I mean? So
right.
People can watch it on their own. It's trending all over social media right now. You can go anywhere if you really want to see it. It's kind of, it's bad. And Marlon wrote me the minute, like a little bit after it happened, Marlon wrote in the group chat, or I think I said something about it. And then Marlon wrote back and he was like, he's gone after that shot. And he put a close-up video. I was like, oof.
Yeah, I mean, even from the angle that I saw, when it actually made contact and you saw the aftermath of it, it looked undeniably fatal.
Yeah. When I saw it up close, there was no way he was getting back from that. If he did, that would have only been counted as a miracle. That I'm telling you now, the only way he could have made it past that injury was a miracle.
Yeah.
His family was there. His wife and his children were both there, all there. Whether they saw it or not, I pray to God that the kids didn't. I pray they didn't. I'm gonna tell you from my perspective as someone who's lost their father. Okay, I didn't see my dad but 2 weeks before he died, a week and a half, maybe a little bit more. He didn't want me seeing him. He knew he was gonna die, but he didn't want me seeing him in certain states. But when I saw him, his body was already rejecting a whole bunch of stuff, and he was not. He went from my size to like puffed up with liquid and all that kind of stuff, and he was flaming hot to the touch, and that's the image that got seared in my brain. That particular image of my pops. So I know if his kids saw it's, I don't care how young you think they're too young to remember, they'll remember it.
Yeah.
And so I hope that did not happen. The good thing is that they have a strong mom. That's what I'm glad about, is that they do have a strong mother. So I mean, there is that. So at least at minimum, she will be able to walk them through this. But I don't, man, look, some people just have no, they do not possess the ability to converse. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
They simply don't have the ability to converse. And the unfortunate reality is that many of them don't want to converse.
Yeah, they're to me, left-wing people, a lot of the people on the left are nothing more than demons. They're bottom feeder NPCs who only operate on a program. And the minute you try to inject something outside of what they're programmed to think, they lose it. And you can't talk to these people. And I think Marlon and I have said this many times. Stop talking to them. Stop engaging them. Because they're lunatics. They're bottom feeders.
I'm at the point though where, like, if the left don't want to engage, I don't want to engage either. I'm just gonna guns blazing at them now, because I'm at the point where we've been preached about having. I mean, people on the right have been preaching about unity this and unity that, and it's just like, you want us to unify with this? Like, make it make sense to me. Help me understand why you think it's incumbent upon us on the right, who want decency and want civility, to unify with the monstrous display that we just saw. Like, explain, help me understand that. I don't get it. So I don't care about unity anymore.
You know, I will agree with you on this point. People that think like that, no, there is no middle ground with them at all. There isn't a middle ground, because they're not seeking middle ground. They're needing you to come over to their side.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't mind keeping my belief. I don't need you to come over to my belief. If you don't want to come over to my belief, I don't have a problem with that. You do you. I'm not going to hunt you down and end your life because you don't agree with me. However, if you decide to try and put your beliefs on my kids, we may have something to discuss. See, I leave your people alone. You could leave mine. And that's where I think the line has now been blurred, because what they started to do now is going at political people is one thing, like people who hold office. That's one thing. But now you're just going after people who have their own viewpoint in their private life and decide to talk about it online. That's crazy to me, that you could. The thing about it, America, you could do the same thing that Charlie's doing. Think about this. If your viewpoint is so exquisite and amazing, you could get online right now and espouse your belief. And if people like it, you know what will happen? They're going to follow you.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that the internet allows you to say whatever you want to say about your belief. And if people like it, they will follow you.
Right.
But you got to go after somebody who's doing better than you. And that's really what it comes down to. Doing something you can't do. Doing something you wish you could do, but you hate yourself too much. So in order to make yourself feel better, you kill them. Now, if he gets the chair, I'm not going to cry. If he gets the noose, I'm not going to cry. If he gets the injection, I'm not going to cry. Because I figure He who sheds blood, by man shall his blood be shed. I will quote that scripture to you while you're going out. I will.
Yeah.
If that's the punishment you get, you get. Now, hear
Right.
me out. The problem is people on the right will not take retribution if he doesn't get jail time. No one on the right, I think, will end up doing that. I might be wrong. This might be the tipping point where if he gets free, or even if he gets a minimum amount of time and he gets out, I don't know if somebody won't end him, but I highly doubt it.
Could someone look up and see if they started a GoFundMe for this guy? You know how the left is. If they did,
Do we have a name
yeah.
yet?
Yeah, I posted the name. The name is, well, I shared it earlier. His name, hang on.
I don't know. I'm to the point where their continual displays of violence, and they're looking for violence, is pushing me to a brink where I will actively show you how much I don't care about you.
All right, his name is Michael Mallinson. Mallinson.
Hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if they started one for him at all, because they're bottom feeding lunatics.
This was a post by Charlie in April. Assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. 55% said the same about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Magnon. The left is being whipped into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or losing a court case, justifies a maximally violent response. This is the natural growth of the left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb.
I agree.
And it's true because it ended up that he was next.
You know, I think the Justice Department and, you know, all the people that work up there up top need to start scrubbing social media. I really believe it, because there's a lot of extremist stuff going on social media that people turn a blind eye to. And I said it earlier in the podcast. Go over to Reddit. Reddit is absolutely disgusting. You know, go over to X. Absolutely disgusting. I'm telling you, go to Reddit and look at some of the stuff these people are saying. But nothing ever happens. And this is where extremists are freaking born and bred, right there in Reddit. And I said it earlier, if you guys see anything that is extreme, causing for the death, murder, or destruction of anybody, you need to report it, screenshot it, and report it. Stop being nice with these people. They hide behind their screens thinking that they're untouchable. No, they're touchable. You need to report that content. You see it on TikTok? Report it. Report their content.
Point blank.
Just report it. You see a live and they're in there talking extremist stuff? Report it. You see a video? Report it. Send it to everybody. Report it. Stop playing with these people. Because who's next? That's the question. Who's next? They're trying to keep right-wing people from the public square. This is a scare tactic also. You took out Charlie Kirk. Well, I'm not getting up there and talking. Sure. I'm not going to lose my life to get up here. Now they've killed that.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be scared.
And he had bodyguards.
Tatum's, you know, the people you don't like, Candace Owens. Just think of anybody that's right-wing that goes to these college campuses and talks, or in a public square and talks. They're not going to do it anymore, for a while at least.
This is one of those crazy situations, guys, that I think will eventually come out in a very grotesque kind of way. I think we'll end up seeing far more of this happening, and to more right-wing folks within the next few months. I think Charlie was a test to see what we would do. Mind you, the person that they said they called was an older guy, right?
Yeah, he's a boomer.
Yeah.
Watch for there to be more of those. Why? Because they're at the tail end of their life.
Yep.
in their mind, and I'm not justifying it, I'm just giving you an insight into what they could be thinking.
Mhm.
I'm old. I effed up anyway. The best I could do is make things better for my generation going forward. And so I'll take one for the team.
Mhm.
The left has been asking for people who are terminally ill, people who already have nothing on tail in their life to do it. They've been asking people to do it to Trump. Watch for more of them to go after right-wing pundits, right-wing politicians, and right-wing influencers, and watch for the perpetrators to be older.
Yep.
There'll be people that don't care because they're on the tail end of their life.
And,
And if
and
they do give them time, it'll be a few years.
and you're correct. Look at all the old boomers out there at all these rallies. They're out there hooping and hollering and screaming about things that they couldn't even fix during their time when they were younger. So they let all this messed up crap happen. Now they're here. They're like, oh my God, we got to fix it now. It's too late. You guys are the ones out there screaming about abortion rights, and you're too old, geriatric. You ain't having no babies. Why are you out there protesting about this stuff? They
Right.
just find any reason to get out there and protest. So now, as Marlon stated, they're trying to fix it. They're trying to fix what they messed up.
Mhm.
So in order to fix it, they got to take out the people that are trying to teach this young generation the right way of doing things, and they don't want that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that the left has officially declared war, and it's. I guess we now appropriately respond.
This is going to be someone had texted over on Rumble if this was the new shot heard around the world. I can't say no.
Not gonna.
I can't tell you no. I can probably I would have to agree with you. The important thing, I will give the left this credit. Okay, Newsom has denounced it, but again, he has to, because if he went even remotely close to saying this was okay, he understands the backlash. So I can't necessarily take his word as that's what he really feels like. But so did the people that discussed we're going to be discussing Friday, and him. I genuinely don't believe that because he's the one that's been calling for the death of Donald Trump for a while now, and that'd be the Krasenstein brothers.
Mhm.
They're talking about this is never justified, while tweets before they were begging for somebody to kill Donald Trump. So I cannot believe your rhetoric, and I'll be lighting them up even more come Friday. Because it's ridiculous. I mean, there are some people you can genuinely question as to whether or not they feel that way, believe that way.
Yeah.
I can possibly see Newsom believing it's not the best way to handle it. I can possibly see that Barack believes it's not the best way to handle it, possibly.
Mhm.
But I also know that the majority of them saying that they don't want this handled this way have been the ones to say it's okay to handle it that way in other situations.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the left wings have been the ones get in the streets, get in their faces, make them uncomfortable. They put out all that rhetoric, and what do you think their people are going to do?
Follow
You
suit.
know, yeah, these are the same people that blame Donald Trump for J6 with his rhetoric.
Right.
But their rhetoric's the exact same thing. But the difference between us and them is that we don't go around shooting people over it.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what to make of this other than it's a sad situation.
Mhm.
And I hope that they get to the bottom of the why and the how. And I do hope that his family finds some solace somehow, some way. I don't know in what way or when. There's no easy way to get over something like this. It's not something that they can just say, we're done with it. It doesn't go away like that. So anyway, that is where we're at right now, guys. Come Friday, we'll be talking about the Ringling brothers, otherwise known as the Krasenstein brothers. Quite a group, and they're oddballs. I will tell you guys this: they're not the most. They're a tough pill to listen to and watch, and everything about them is cringe.
Mhm.
But it's more than just cringe. There's something wrong with them, and I mean that 100%. There's something wrong, and I don't mean mentally or something off. I mean that I sense that there's something so odd that it might even border on them being paid to be the way that they are
Oh.
in terms of creating what they create.
This goes beyond their fraudulent Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I think it goes far beyond that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear it.
yeah, and I think it has something to do with foreign countries as well. So that's just
that's interesting.
what I believe.
I can see it. You know, I just don't know what happens after this, man. You know, it's messed up because Charlie Kirk was actually like a really good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't a mean, nasty, violent person. He was a family man. He believed he had his Christian values. He stood on. He loved this country. He knew what he was talking about when it came to the Constitution and conservatism. I mean, he would be what I would call a real conservative.
Right.
He was an up and coming guy. He possibly would have been a congressman or a senator or maybe even the president.
I was going to say he could easily have won the presidency if he had continued.
Easily won that. And for him to just lose his life like that in this way, so violently in front of the world to see, it's just like, it's very disturbing, man. You know, because he just wasn't a bad person. He was just a good dude who had an opinion. The left didn't like it. These radical left-wing nutcases, these psychopaths that are running around in our streets right now. We need to figure out who they are. And I pray to God that, you know, as the National Guard starts clean sweeping through cities, they start clean sweeping social media too. Looking for all these extremists that are hiding out again in Reddit. They're hiding out in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing all this stuff in there. So you need to figure it out. You need to figure out who these people are, start scooping these people up and getting them in these insane asylums and getting them looked at.
Agreed.
Bucka, what exactly do you think we should have covered that we didn't cover? I'm curious, just curious. This ain't me. I ain't coming sideways, not yet. What exactly should we have covered that we didn't cover? The shooter's name, that was covered. We covered that, right?
Yeah, we said it.
We covered where he was shot.
Yep.
Okay, and we covered that he was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we covered that he died.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, nobody knows the motives of anything yet, right? So we can't cover that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we did speculate on what could have possibly been, so we covered that too.
Mm-hmm.
We covered what he espoused and what he believed. Did we cover that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so what exactly did we not cover, Bucker? I'm just dead really, really serious. What didn't we cover? Because it sounds like we covered everything that could be covered because not anybody else knows anything past that. So unless you know something more, which we would love the information, we would. There's an email scrolling about it. You can send it to us right now, and we will get it, and we will put it up on the screen if you know something more than we do.
Yeah, he's our YouTube follower, Bucka. Never heard of him, so he must just be a guy.
No, he follows Too Strong, so I'm trying to figure out what didn't we cover. I'm really trying to figure out what we didn't cover.
Man, you didn't cover what you didn't cover what he wanted you to cover. Oh. Remember, we have to cover what he wants us to cover, and we didn't cover what was going on in his head, his expectations. So whatever was going on up in there, we didn't cover it.
I'm pretty sure we did, though. When I mentioned that there was an internal thing on Turning Point USA to try and get guns handled, who do you think would have to pass the laws for the guns? That'd be government, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we covered that.
I'm pretty sure I covered everything.
I guess government activities. So I guess next time we'll ask you guys permission exactly on what we should talk about, since you guys just
no. We talked plenty about Charlie Kirk. What? Okay, maybe you're at the beginning of the video or in a different place, but we covered a lot about Charlie. I'm pretty sure when I came on, I talked a lot about what he talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We talked about his age. We talked about Turning Point USA. We talked about his rallies and what he was doing out on these college campuses and how he was creating dialogue for people to come up there and get a different viewpoint. We talked about what he.
So y'all did cover that.
Yeah, we talked about all that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but we didn't do it because Buck, whatever his name
Unless
is.
Bucker came in the same time I did because I was live with Too Strong.
We didn't do it when he wanted us to do it at the time he wanted us to do it, how he wanted us to do it. So he's saying that we didn't do it because we didn't do it his way.
I'm just curious, man.
Yeah.
If you were over on Too Strong and then you came in here, here's what I would suggest, Bucka. Watch the whole thing from beginning so you know that these guys, us here on Savage, we're not Too Strong, we Savage Patriots. We covered everything. It literally everything. If
Yep.
I know these two fellas, with or without me, they thorough. So I'm pretty sure that they covered just about everything to do with Charlie Boy.
Yeah, we showed the shooter. Yeah, we showed them who the shooter was. We talked about where it happened, when it happened, how it happened, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it's in there. So
Yeah,
as
what
for
else? I
who
don't know what
Charlie
else.
Kirk is, he's dead now. I can
guess
tell
he
you who
wanted
Charlie
to
Kirk was.
go over his whole resume. Like, rest in peace, Charlie. But this isn't a memorial podcast.
Yeah.
We
No.
discussed what happened. We're
Yeah.
not going to go over his whole resume. Born in 1993 to the parents of. We're not going to do all that.
Yeah.
And if you're unhappy with it, email us and let us know how we can do better in your head. And then when you pay us, we'll do it exactly how you want us to do it.
That
an
part.
option. I mean, we'll take the money.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
it.
Please don't ever get it to it. We love cash. We will take cash in a fartbeat. Not a heartbeat, a fartbeat. Fart. In any case, we'll tackle the Crastern stands on Friday.
Cool.
And I do believe what information I'm going to espouse. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I'm going to act like it is because that's what they do. I'm going to let you know now. Friday, I'm becoming Krastenstein.
You got to
Okay.
talk like them, though.
And I can't talk that gay.
I don't.
I can't talk that gay, man. That's too gay. That's
Yeah,
a lot of gay.
Oompa Loompa voice.
It is right and left. That's what exists right now is right and left. I know everyone wants to say it's all a part of the same bird, but there is, listen now, Bucka, and this is just me. This is my point of view. There is right and left, and
Yep.
left is wrong. I don't know how else to tell you that. I don't know about Democrat and Republican, but I know there is right and wrong is left. I can 100% attest to that. There is two sides. There's not three. There are two sides. There is one wrong and one right. And
Yep.
right now, 99.999% of the bullshit that happens to this world is on the left. That is factual. 100% factual. They want dead babies. They want you to die if you don't believe what you believe, what they believe. They want to end you at every turn. They want life to end. So yeah, there is a right and there is a wrong, and the wrong 99% is on the left.
And if you've been paying attention, they just proved themselves to be that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I understand the Republican Democrat thing is a part of the political bird, but we're not talking politics anymore. This is more about morals than anything else at this point.
Yep.
This is morals. This is more than more. This is morals now. This has very little to do with Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
Very little. The instant if your side is pro-abortion, you're the devil, and anything that vile happens to you because you want a child. In fact, here's what I say, and I'll say it and I'll say it again. If you are pro-abortion, you do one to yourself first, and then we will take you seriously.
Yep.
I will stand on business all day. If you are pro-abortion, male or female, if you are good with that, do it to yourself first, so I can see that you really stand on business.
Mm-hmm.
You stand on business and you really are about that action. Do it yourself. Let's see how that works out for you, and then we can decide if it's murder or not. How about that? How about that?
I agree.
That's what I say. That right there. Abortion is my middle line. If you cross that in any capacity, I can't be side to you. I'm sorry. No. If you're good up to 9 months, it's a no. You for murder. Just to say that you for murder.
That's right.
So that's my line. And this is left and right, right? There is a right and a left. And even the people who say they're on the right and they believe that, no, you're on the other side of the fence. You left to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about, right? You ain't on the right. You left to me. You left to me. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
No, I don't think this is a matter of government, big government. I don't want big government either. But at the same time, this topic here that we're talking about is a moral issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is morality we're talking about right now.
Shown by the very same people who are amoral.
And very much immoral, too.
Big government. That made my stomach hurt when I read that.
So
Government.
Now, when you say you believe it exists, or you believe it should be? Because I don't want people coming after Bucker if that's not what he means. He
I
could
think
be
we should come
meaning that
after
he
Bucka.
believes that big government exists. And he would be right if that's what he's meaning. If, however, he's saying that he believes in big government, that they need to exist,
Then we got problems.
I'm not stopping nobody. But I'm trying to defend the man. Okay? So I'm just saying, before we leave, are you a proponent or a person that backs big government? I just want to get that answered, if you don't mind. That's the only thing I want answered. Are you for? So you are for big government?
Okay.
Oh, you're a Marxist. You're a dirty, nasty Marxist.
All right, buddy. Well, you're on your own in this room. Ain't nobody here for big government. We want limited government. We want very little, as little as possible. Like un poquito, muy poquito. No,
Dirty, nasty Marxist commie.
For me, government, this is what they handle. You ready? Infrastructure, upkeeping of natural laws,
and defense.
And international defense, in my opinion.
That's it. They got 3 jobs. That's it.
Yep.
Don't need them for nothing else.
I don't want you in my land. I don't want you in my school. I don't want you in my hospital. I want you in none of that. Nope. You don't get to deal with none of that. Social care. Nope. Let people deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Big government, take a hike. Small, very small.
Agree.
That way you don't get rich going into government.
That part.
Matter of fact, we can govern ourselves. You guys just sit up there and talk to foreign dignitaries. We can do the rest on our own.
Right.
Pretty simple. I mean, I think that'd be amazing.
Do
you imagine how many taxes you keep? Come on, man. Like you live in a vicinity, you live in a city, and the people take care of the roads. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because you know when the roads break.
Just some random dude in his house comes and fixes the pothole. I fixed a pothole right here. Oh man, thanks, Rick.
And whose fault is that? If you're a 5-time felon, that ain't my fault.
What does that even mean?
That's not even a flex, dude. Like
okay, so you are a 5-time felon. What does that have to do with big government? Government put you there.
5-time felon.
Big government put you in prison 5 different times, bro.
Wait a minute, hold on. So he doesn't like the system. Well, he does like the system, so I guess that's why you want to be a part of it.
What does that even mean? Why does people think being a 5-time felon is some type of flex?
Your guess is as good as mine right now, man.
Ain't a flex.
Hey, look, I'm sorry that you had to go through that 5 times.
After 2, it's a choice, though.
Yeah, I'll give you my 2 cents. Maybe leave crime alone. It obviously doesn't agree with you.
But I mean, after 2,
well, if that's what we sound like, so so the crime that you did was not your fault. I have to keep that. Black. Did you? Okay, you're a 5-time felon. Were you guilty or not guilty? That's all I need to know. Were you guilty or not
convicted?
Guilty? Were you framed? Was it somebody else? Was it you? Were you the one that did what you were accused of, or was it somebody else? Because if it was somebody else, I'm with you. You should never have gone to prison for felonies. If you did these things.
He said we sound like Charleston White. I love Charleston White. I'm a fan of Charleston White.
The fact that he said y'all, I'm included. All right.
Just tell me, please, were you the one that perpetrated the crimes, or was that somebody else? Pretty simple questions, I think, in my mind. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. But can you please tell me, brother, please tell me, was the crime yours or somebody else's, brother? Was the crime yours or somebody else's, brother? Was the crime yours or somebody else's, brother?
You know, it trips me out when they get in here and they say comments like that. Uncle Ruckus, Charleston White, whatever. How should we talk? How should we? What do you want us to say?
But see, if I spoke with AAVE, that would be code switching, and that would make me racist.
Ain't nobody care about that no more. Remember? Time's over.
Sure. That's right.
Bucka, hear me out.
Yes, sir, to what?
If that is true that you are indeed the one responsible for that action, I wouldn't be bragging about that. That sounds like hear me out. That sounds like something you need to work on so that you don't resort to that action when something is needed. Whether that be if he went to prison for drugs or violence or whatever, it sounds to me like there needs to be an adjustment internally so that that particular behavior is not something that you exemplify in your life. That's all. And no, I'm not saying you shouldn't have your opinion. I'm just saying that's not a flex to us. So mentioning that you're a 5-time felon is not affecting us the way you might think it is. You have your opinion. Did I tell you not to have your opinion? I didn't say that. Did I say that?
No.
Oh. I didn't tell you anything about how you should believe, Bucka, not once. I told you what I think of your belief. You said you're for big government. And I get to decide based on what you believe, what I think about you, what I think about you. I never told you not to believe in big government. I said, we don't believe in big government here. Pretty sure I said those exact words.
Yeah,
Unless he thinks that his opinion is entitled to our acquiescence.
No, we don't care about your opinion. It's your opinion. That's why it's called your opinion.
Right.
We don't need to agree with your opinion about big government. We have our own opinion about big government needing to go away.
Agreed.
No, that to say I don't take no sides when it comes to government. But you do because you're for big government, so that's a side. And I don't know if you realize that. Anyway, we'll be back on Friday. Where we will be taking sides.
I would say something, but I'm not. I was going to, never mind.
We will be back on Friday where we will be taking sides against the Krastenstein brothers and see how that turns out. Please feel free to come back and enjoy the conversation. You too, Bucka. Your opinion is your opinion, and you feel free to share it, brother. Also, just remember, though, that because you share it with us, we also take the rights to break it apart, flesh it out, disagree with it, agree with it. So the same strength you have to give it, just be okay with people scrutinizing it, man. That's all. We have the right to scrutinize your opinion, just like you can scrutinize. I mean, when you came in and you said we didn't address something, and we just came at you and said, well, we did. We just told you that we did. We took your opinion about it, but we proved that your opinion was ill-informed. And so now you get to go back and watch the whole podcast. So if you have the ability to speak your mind, we have the ability to scrutinize it. I hope that's okay. Okay. I hope that's okay with you. Yeah. But thank you for the viewing anyway, Bucka. We do appreciate it. We really do. All of you out there, we appreciate y'all. Again, condolences to Erica and her family on the death of her husband and father, Charlie Kirk. It is indeed a loss for the conservative movement for sure.
Yep.
Turning piece. I'm a clown in my opinion. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait a minute. Can we read that?
Are you clowning on my opinion? Am I clowning on your opinion? No, I'm not. No. Why would I be clowning on your opinion?
On my opinion.
I'm not clowning. I literally told you can have your opinion. How is that clowning on it?
But at this point, I think we should now because he's asking for it.
He's definitely proven to us that he's a 5-time felon.
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not giving you that energy. No. I want you to come back Friday to see what we give on info about our topic.
But if you want that smoke,
it's in there. I just, today I'm on gummy time.
Not gummy time.
I'm on gummy time right now.
Just no.
Okay, well, then I don't know no better. That's okay. That's your opinion that I don't know any better. I agree with you. I don't know any better. You are right. I agree with you, sir. I don't know any better. So now the ball is in your court to educate me. So come back Friday and educate me so I can know better.
That's what Charleston White does. Yep, I like Charleston White.
I don't care what Charleston White does.
Okay, so again, I'm fine with you helping me out. I love help. Help is one of the best things people can offer me. Just don't shoot me. Now, we will discuss everything come Friday about Mr. Krastenstein and his homosexual brother. And
bordering on an incestuous relationship, possibly?
I could see it, man. I could see it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I could see it. They're a little too chummy when they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way they talk, that no man talk like that.
Beyond the fact that they've got that twinsy connection.
That's the thing. I don't know. That's a normal.
They talk. They're like gaffa.
Hey, look, if girls can do it on OnlyFans.
Aren't they like little Oompa Loompa dudes too? They're like 5'2",
5'4" or something like that. I think.
I'm taller than them, and I'm average Asian, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, they're tiny, dude. Little tiny dudes.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Friday. I'm not lying. We'll be back. We'll catch you all then. Mr. Ali.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and there's no peace only.
War.